Hey there Dev Squad, Virtus here and welcome back to my Unreal Engine 4 Endless Runner tutorial series. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at how we can set up a simple coin pickup for our Endless Runner game. Now within our Endless Runner we are going to have some randomly spawning coins. When you pick it up it is going to be shown in the top right hand corner of your screen on the heads up display. So the item you're going to be picking up looks a little bit like this. It's going to be a 3D rotating item within your scene and it's going to be something you're going to be able to pick up. So with this what I've done is I've actually created a 3D model for this, for the pickup item for this coin. Now having said that, what I need you guys to do is import this into your meshes folder within your runner files, and just to do that just click, drag, drop and place it into your content browser just like that. Once again make sure all the settings are the same as mine, which is pretty much default. Make sure combine meshes is on if it isn't already. Once you've done this just go ahead and click import and from there you are good to go. So once we've done this, we can set up a simple material for it. Now what it has done is it has imported the yellow color, which is exactly what I want, and this is within this kinetic energy material. Open it up, and what we're going to be doing is giving this material a bit of a glow as well to make it shine nice and bright and to make it look a bit more attractive to the player. So the base color is just this yellow color, which is fine, and then with this I'm just going to add a constant into the emissive color and I'm going to set this to 15, and what this is going to do is just make it glow nice and bright. Now what you will notice is by doing it at 15 on the emissive color with just a standard one value constant, it's going to make it white. So what we need to do is take something like what we've got here, copying it and pasting it and hooking that up into the emissive instead. Now to increase the strength of this, the easiest way that I find to do this is to use the multiply node, hook it up into your emissive color, A goes into your constant free vector, and then from here you can just use a regular constant to control the strength of this. So if I set this to 15 now, it is going to be a nice bright yellow color and should look a little bit something like this. Once you're happy with the color, hit apply, and then what we can do from there is take a look at our static mesh for our pickup, and you can see that is looking like a coin, looks very attractive and it looks good to me. So what we've got to do now is go into our blueprints folder, and we are going to create a blueprint class for this. Now we're just going to make this the normal actor type, and then we are going to use the name coin underscore pickup, just like that. Once we've done this, what we're going to be doing is adding in the static mesh component, making sure you can overlap this so you can actually pick it up, and adding some 3D rotation to this and a little bit of code to add it to the screen as well. So add component, static mesh, and we're just going to set the mesh for this to the item that we created before, that we imported already. So for us that is called pickup. So let's grab this, so pickup, and there it is, and we can bring that into our scene just like that. Now what we need to do with this now is add in a rotating movement, and this is just going to make it spin. And this is going to be a nice slow spin by default, so we're going to leave it just where it is. What we need to do now is actually create a variable for the coins so the engine knows how many coins you've picked up. And the place we're going to be doing this is within our third person blueprint for the game mode. So open up third person game mode, and then within here in the variables tab in the bottom left we're just going to add coins, and then for the variable type we're going to set this to an integer as it is a numeric value. Default value should be 0 so they haven't got any to start with. And then if we go back to our coin pickup, when the character begins to overlap with this item, the coin that is, we're going to tell it to add to that variable and then destroy the coin. So actor begin overlap, what we're going to do is other actor cast to the third person character, because we want to check to see if it's the character that's overlapping it and nothing else. Once you've done this, what you can do is cast to the third person game mode, and then as for the object wildcard, set this to get game mode, and then as third person game mode, you want to set coins. And what we're going to be doing with this, is just hooking it up just like this, and then we're going to do increment integer. So what this is going to do is add 1 to the specified value and then set it. So what we could do with coins is integer plus integer if you want to do some extra stuff like multipliers and stuff, but if you just want to add 1, which is going to be the simple way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to hook it straight up into here. So as third person game mode, get coins, and then just hook it up into here. And that is going to add 1 to the specified value, which is our coin. So every time we pick up 1, it's going to add 1 and then set it. So it's basically just cutting down some of our code for us. What we need to do after this is destroy the actor, because we no longer want to see the coin after you've picked it up. If you guys want to add a sound effect for this, you can do. So just before the destroy actor, you can work with some sounds. So you can play sound 2D, and with that you can then choose a sound asset. So if you wanted to, you could choose one of these pre-made sounds, or what I do have as part of the endless assets under SFX is a pickup sound. So if you want to, you can go into your runner files, add a new folder with the name SFX, and just import it in, and we can use this. So this way, if we have a bit of sound, we have a bit of feedback, we know we've picked up the coin. Hit compile and we should be good to go. For the static mesh, select this in the top left hand corner of your coin pickup. What we want to do is just make sure our collision is set to overlap only the pawn. So that way we can actually generate this overlap event that we're going to be working with. So what we need to do now is actually get it spawned into the scene. So what I'm going to do is, in the same way we did with the obstacles, we can just get this to randomly generate on our master tile. So open up your master tile, within here, make some space, just like this, and then we are just going to add a spawn actor node for each one of these lanes. Instead of an obstacle, this time we are just going to use our coin pickup. Spawn transform should be the same, add a pin, and hook this up to the third possible choice on here. And then make sure you set your maximum random integer to 3, and just go ahead and do the same thing on each one of these lanes. And what that's going to do is bring in your coin just like it's an obstacle, just randomly placing it in there so we don't get too many. So coin, spawn transform, add a pin, hook this up, and then random integer should be 3. I've done that already. Same over here, add a pin, add another one of these. Let's bring this in, and then set this to your coin. There we are, set this to your coin pickup, hook it up to your spawn transform, add it to the third pin, and we are good to go. So what we should have now is, within our scene we should have some coins, and you should be able to pick them up and you can hear the sound being played. Now what you will notice, these coins are way too big, so what we're going to have to do is just go into our coin pickup and just scale that down, and just keep on adjusting it until we get the size that we want. So I'm going to scale this way down, and then press play. They're getting smaller, but not small enough, so a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn off my scaling snapping, so I can do this freehand, and I'm going to get it to about this size. Hit compile, and hit play, and you can see now we've got some relatively decent sized coins. I can run over these and collect them, and we are good to go from here. Now notice they are currently in the ground, so what I've also got to do is bring this up above the ground just like that, so it looks like they're floating, and then we can go and pick up these coins. So make one more adjustment, and then what we're going to do is take a moment to try and get this added onto the screen. So I'm going to do it about that size, hit compile, move it up a little bit more, and then hit play, and we're good. So decent sized coins. I like where this is looking. We can switch between them, pick them up, we've got a sound, and it's really starting to feel like an endless runner. So for actually adding these on the screen, it's really straightforward. So when I say adding it on the screen, I just want a little counter in the top right hand corner, which is going to tell you how many coins you've got. The way we're going to do this is open up our runner HUD, our widget blueprint that we created already, and just beneath this piece of text that I've got up here already, I'm going to add another piece of text, and this text is going to show us how many coins you've got. Now my default value under the text content is going to be 0, 0. Now we need to get this to update dynamically and update live. So what we've got to do, just like we did for the score, we've got to create a binding for this, and for that binding all we're going to do is just cast to the third person game mode, which is where the variable is stored, and then as third person game mode, get the number of coins and hook it up to your return value. With the toText, make sure you turn off grouping because you do not want that on there. Minimum integral digits, you can set that if you want to. That's just basically the minimum number of digits you can have on there. And also make sure your object wildcard is set to get game mode. And what we should have now, also make sure you anchor that little piece of text to the top right hand corner and bump up that font size a little bit. And what we should have now, if we align this to the right as well, if we hit compile, we should be able to see the number of coins in the top right hand corner. When I pick one up, you can see that number going up, and we now fully have our coin system in place for our endless runner, and we can pick up as many as we want of these. Anyway guys, that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover in today's video. Once again guys, thanks for watching, stay awesome, keep curating, your boy Virtus, signing out. This video was made possible by my supporters on Patreon. If you want more videos like this, check out my Patreon page using the link in the description. To stay up to date on new releases, make sure you follow us on social media.